Welcome back to the bench. Today, as you can see, we have an Amiga 500 motherboard on the bench, but this is not the subject of today's video. This was a board that I picked up so I could use it as a test board for the princely sum of €26, which was a pretty good price, especially considering that they came also with the half meg memory expansion and the internal floppy drive. So, I thought that was a pretty good bargain, especially since it's got all the chips. Usually when you get motherboards going for that price, they usually got half the chips missing, but either that or there's just completely dead boards. I thought maybe this would turn into a repair video, but yeah, when I got this, plugged it in, powered it up, and it fired up first time. It works perfectly. So, the subject of today's video is something else that I bought off eBay, which is a bit more strange looking. When I first saw it, it took me a little while to figure out what it might be, because as you can see, it's got 8 EEPROMs here, which are AM27C512s. So at 8 bits they're 64K, so that would be 512K in total. Yeah, so yeah, 128, 256, 512. But as this Amiga is a 16-bit machine, it's probably running in 16-bit mode, so it's probably only 256K here. It took me a while to figure out what it is, but it is actually a Kickstart switcher. It has the pin for the original Kickstart chip here, the 40 pin, because when you look on the back, it's here, it says Mega Kick 1.1. So that drew my curiosity. I did find a user manual for this, but it is completely in German. I couldn't find any English user manual, so maybe I can link in it below if I remember, so you can have a look at it, especially if you speak German, and try and figure out what it says, because it is actually quite an extensive manual. But what I suspect it is that this is a poor man's, well, you'd think it would be a poor man's Kickstart switcher. I'm guessing that the Kickstart has been broken down and placed into each of these ROMs, and this chip here does the addressing to make the system think it's just looking at one ROM. I'm guessing at the time this was made, probably these 40 pin chips were probably very, very expensive. So somebody came up with the idea of putting another Kickstart on multiple ROMs and then building this board, which we think would probably cost more, but you never know, it probably would have been cheaper. Now, before we can test it, we have to do a few repairs, because when I pulled the foam off that came with it, I noticed that 2 of these pins are snapped. A few of them are other ones are bent, which we can bend back into place. But yeah, so this end one here and one in the middle over here snapped off. Now you'd think the best solution would be to desolder this and to replace it, but no, what I think I'm going to do is just take in a pair of snips here and then just cut this one here, because this will be the easiest one to replace. There we go. So I can just desolder that and solder in a new pin, and we'll have to see whether that is going to work for our other pin here, which may be a little bit more tricky because it's in the middle. So let's cut it here first. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, that's gone. And that's gone. So not sure if it's gone all the way through, but it definitely split. So what I'm going to do is maybe just take my knife and just go down there and make sure that that's definitely cut through. Let's just move this board out of the way a little bit first so we got room to work. So we can cut this one out. Yeah, that's going through. Yeah, So that's all the way through. So all we need to do now is desolder those 2 pins, because what I have here is I have a couple of single pins that I prepared earlier, Blue Peter style. And yeah, so we should be able to desolder those from the top, just using our solder sucker here. I might add a bit of solder first just to get rid of that crustiness. Okay, let's see if we can suck that out. Still needs a bit more. Get rid of some of the debris. Still being held in there by some solder on the other side because it is a double-sided board, so you can just grip that, give it a little tug. There we go. And that's one out. And the next one is this little pin here. So I'll give it a good heating, put some fresh solder on. Turn it over, and again, yeah, it's still, no, it looks like actually it's come off clean this time. Yeah, so we should just be able to lift this pin out gently without damaging the other pins. Yep, and there she comes. So now we can put our new pins in. These pins look like they're basically the same type. They're slightly different. So we just got to make sure that they go in and they're at the same height. There we go. That's in. Oh, a bit too far. Looks like we should have cleaned this up a bit first here. There's still a bit of the old pin still there. Just pull it out again a second. Yeah, there's just a little burr from the old one. So yeah, get that out. Yeah. So just hold that in there a second, put it down, and it should find its own level. We prop this up. Okay, and this end pin. Yeah, probably need to clean that up a little bit as well, just to make sure that this can go in. And now that fits in nicely. Again, we'll just let it find its own level, and then we can adjust it later if necessary. Yeah, it seems to be at the same height as the others. I'm going to try and get a bit more solder on there, so we can get it to flow down a bit more. Oh, that one went a bit squiff. Just straighten you out. Okay, so that's how you repair a couple of broken pins on a socket. Now, just straighten a few of these out, just using a pair of pliers. Looks like it was ripped out. A lot of these pins are all angled. I'll try and get them as straight as possible. Okay, so next job is to get our Kickstart ROM out of here. It should be easy, there's plenty of leverage there. Now, one thing I did notice when looking at this board at the first impression is this is actually using dual wipe sockets. Some of my other Rev 6 boards are only using single wipe sockets, so I actually bought a load of sockets to replace them, because obviously dual wipe is a lot better. But I bought some turn pin sockets, so if any of them fail I can just replace them, because the turn pin sockets are probably the best ones to have. So this should sit in there nicely. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, it's going to take a bit of force, I think, because the pins are a bit wider than a normal IC socket, but yeah, that's in there. Now it's time to see what version of Kickstart is on that ROM. Okay. Okay, so it is Kickstart version 2, which is nice because I don't have a copy of Kickstart version 2. But it's split over 8 ROMs. So I'm presuming you can put this back together. They are marked 0 low, 0 high, through to 3 low and 3 high. So I'm guessing it goes this way. I have dumped the ROMs prior to making this video. I took all the ROMs out and I dumped them. So, I could use the EEPROM burning software to concatenate them all back into one ROM. But yeah, copyright 1985 to 1991. Again, presumably, if I switched off then and then put the switch to the other position, I will get my workbench 1.3. Yeah. Well, there we have it. This switch does actually have a middle position, a null position, but I'm presuming that would do nothing. Okay, so if it's in the null or middle position, then yeah, it automatically selects the new bang. So yeah, that was quite a handy little find. Yeah, I got it off eBay for €15 plus postage. It also came with an external floppy drive, just the actual drive itself, not the case or anything, which was one of the type with a door on, which didn't open, it was jammed. So when I took the cover off, I found the reason for that was there was a floppy disk inside. So obviously somebody had taken the drive apart, it had a floppy disk in it, and then they'd put the front fascia back on, and with the disk in there, so obviously the disk could not be ejected, which was kind of rather silly. It had DF1 written on the back of the drive. See if I can find it here. Well, this was the drive. It was quite a nice looking drive, quite clean, and yeah. As I said, this door was jammed because of the disc in there. But one thing I did notice when I did take this base plate off is that this is actually a PC drive, and somebody has converted it. They've done the mod on the back of the PCB to convert this for use in good old Amiga. I won't show you that because yeah, there's plenty of videos on how to do that online. You might be able to see just through here. You can see that little pink mod wire where somebody swapped the pins on here. But yeah, so not sure if this works. I'll give it a clean, maybe I'll give it a go, but I'll just use it as a spare drive for now. So if you like this video, please share this video, consider subscribing. It's always helpful to see that subscriber number going up, and if you want to get notified of future uploads, you can always ring that bell icon. As always, thank you for watching.